Today we'd like to do a small demonstration video about the proper way to assemble a welded star project. The star is one of the main practice projects that we do here at the college. So there's a few things that we're going to need to be successful in setting this up. The first thing we're going to need is we're going to need our material out of the star locker, which consists of the 1/4 inch plate. You're going to have one piece 4 inches. You're going to have two pieces 2 inches, a little bit less, 1 7/8 actually, by the length, and those are going to be oriented on here at 90 degrees. Now, a few items that we're going to need before we get started here to make this happen is we're going to need something to write on it with, a piece of soapstone. We're going to need a combination square because when we fit this up, it needs to be nice and square. We're going to use a magnetic fit-up magnet. This is going to help us to hold the parts while we tack weld them together. And last but not least, we need our E6010 1/8 electrode. This is what we're going to use to tack this up. Now, today we've already made our initial adjustments on our welding power supply. So what we want to do is we can go ahead then and set up and do our layout. So what we want to do on here, this is 4 inches wide. This plate is 1/4 inch thick. So that means it's going to be, the center is going to be at 2, but since it's a 1/4 inch, half each way, it's going to put it at 1 7/8. So what we can do is we can take our combination square, slide it up to here to where it says 1 7/8, right on the end, lay it on here, and now we can just use it to make this mark along here. We'll adjust this a little bit. Now we can take it here and we can just make our mark. Now when we make our mark, this is the 1 7/8, so what I like to do is put a little X there. Now we know which side of the line our plate's going to go on. Okay? The next thing we need to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our fit-up magnet and one piece of the plate. And the plate, it's very important that the plate goes on the side of the line, lines up right with the ends. Get it nice and even there, and now what we want to do is we want to take the fit-up magnet and just push it down like that. Since it's magnetic, it's going to hold it. Now, with it being magnetic, do not try to arc weld right next to the magnet. It's going to cause problems with you due to the magnetism, okay? So now when we look at it, it's on center. This is fairly square. Don't worry too much about it yet. Next thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to put on the rest of our protective equipment here, being gloves, since this is considered hot work. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to tack weld it here on the end, and I'm going to tack weld it here on this end, and then before I do anything else, I'm going to check it for square with my combination square. So let me give this a tack real quick, and then we'll check it with the square. So watch your eyes. There's a tack on that end. Watch your eyes again. There's a tack on that end. Pretty straightforward. When you sit the stinger down, be careful because remember it's energized. Now, when we look at it from the end, you can see it's pretty square, isn't it? Not too bad. Let's go ahead and take our framing square now, or our combination square, and we want to put it in here. Because if this is nice and square, when we weld this in, when we fill this with weld, which when it's completed, it's going to be filled all the way across the top and all the way across the top. And the problem is, if these are not square, if this starts out a square, the symmetry is wrong, and it's going to be really hard for you to come up with a good looking project. So when you fit these up, I want you to make sure that you check it with the square and everything is straight and symmetrical on both sides. Now this is only one side. What we do is then we turn it over and we'll tack the other one on the other side right in line with it, and it's going to make a nice X-shaped pattern, which is just what we're looking for. So go ahead and we'll fit them up, and if you have any problems or questions, make sure you see your instructor.